we are tackling the high cost of silence, whereby the consequences of opting to remain silent. Think of this situation. We have Mary. Mary's best friend is getting married. So Mary promised his friend that I'll cater for the event, as in I'll be the event organizer for your wedding. So as Mary goes back, she starts discovering that some of the goods, some of the items which she was supposed to bring, like the tents, the chairs, the prices which she had quoted to her friend, the prices have gone up. She has tried to go somewhere else, look for the tents and all that. She's still not finding them. Mary has chosen not to tell her friend that, hey, the goods have gone up, so I won't be able to deliver them during the wedding. They go for meetings, all those meetings. Mary still doesn't communicate. The deadline is the wedding day is approaching. The wedding, to cut a long story short, during the wedding day, after they were going for the wedding, and now they're coming for that car, is it called after party? They find there's no tent. They find there are no chairs. All this is because Mary remained silent when she was needed to communicate. How do you feel her friend feels? So today our topic, the high cost of silence. We're discussing this. So far we have talked about the reasons why people remain silent. One of them I can remember is hoping. Some people hope for a miracle. This is very common. You hope because by the time it reaches 6 p.m., hey, I'll have found a way forward. So we also tackled the damages, and one of the major damages which I'll keep on repeating is when you keep silence, when you remain silent, when you opt to not to communicate, you communicate this, that he or she doesn't matter enough for me to explain. Imagine you're telling somebody, just because you're keeping silence, the other person is reading it like you are saying he or she doesn't matter. Imagine. So now I promised in the beginning of the show, I'd promised I'll give some solutions to handle these vices. Actually, it's a vice of keeping silence. And so the solutions, I've categorized them into action and psychological. So let's go through the action part. Solution number one of overcoming this vice of remaining silent is use of mantras, like affirmations, use of affirmations. These are things whereby when you feel like you are about to hide, you are about to freeze or delay, you repeat them to yourself. These are affirmation. You keep on repeating them to yourself. You repeat them to yourself over and over and over again, so that you don't get caught into this vice of keeping silence when you're supposed to. You are supposed to communicate. Let's just say you're supposed to communicate. Solution number one, mantra number one, or an affirmation number one, which I came up was, I do not need perfect words. You tell yourself, I do not need perfect words. I just need to show up. I do not need perfect words. I just need to show up. That's an affirmation you can repeat it to yourself. Repeat to yourself over and over again. Hey, I do not need perfect words. I just need to show up. I just need to show up. Then another affirmation which I came up with, which you can tell yourself over and over when you are caught in a situation whereby you want to hide, you want to freeze, you want to delay, is I'd rather deal with short-term discomfort than long-term regret. I'd rather deal with short-term discomfort than long-term regret. short-term discomfort, long-term delay. Another mantra, there are 4. So this is the third one. Actually, there are 4, yeah. The third one is this. This is something, it's just a short, you keep telling yourself, responsibility builds respect. Responsibility builds respect. It's an affirmation you keep telling yourself. Responsibility builds respect. I feel like I haven't delivered the goods, and I'm just about to opt to keep silence. I tell myself, responsibility builds respect. Responsibility builds respect. You tell yourself over and over again until you take the action. If it's to call, if it's write an email, even if it's to send a voicemail, that's all. Another affirmation, which is the the fourth and last, is my silence causes more harm than my honesty ever could. My silence causes more harm than my honesty could ever do. So these are some of the affirmations you can be telling yourself whenever you feel like, I'm about to freeze, I'm about to go hiding, or I'm about to delay to communicate. So that's solution number 1, whereby you use affirmations. Solution number 2 to overcome this vice of keeping silence is have pre-made messages. What do I mean? These days we have phones. You can have a message whereby you have already typed it. I'll be late. It's already so whenever before, because when you are late, maybe you'll start having that car. The more you start delaying, you'll start that car conversation in yourself, starting having that. You remember the causes we said of which causes us to keep silence? They might start building up in you. For example, fear, maybe your childhood memories. So if you have those pre-made messages, the moment you just remember, hey, I'm getting late. You just send. They start coming. You just send it because it's already. You don't have to type it. It's just a matter of sending. Let me give you a situation. Have you ever tried to call somebody? Then somebody he or she cuts and then he hangs up the phone, and you get a message, immediate message saying, I'll call you back." So if you are in a if you can also come up with your own pre-made messages, whereby, because for example, let's say I'm a businessman, I usually do delivery. So some of the pre-made messages could be, I'll be late, the goods are not available, I'll inform you when they're available, or something like, I won't make it. You're getting? So when the situation rises up, I already have the message. It's a matter of just sending. First of all, you send the message, so you communicate. What we're trying to tackle here is communication. We avoid the silence because we said silence. When you keep silence, actually you're not keeping silence. You're communicating. Your silence is communicating. So we're trying to handle this vice of remaining silence. So have pre-made messages. Alafu the third solution which I came up with, it's a trick whereby this is a call of action. The third one is set a 60-second rule. What do I mean by a 60-second rule? A 60-second rule means this. Let's say the moment you realize you've gone silent, the moment you just realize, I was supposed to deliver these things at 2. It's now 2:30. Wow. The moment you realize, you give yourself exactly 60 seconds to send a message. And this time, there are no long message. You just send press. You remember the ones which I told you, like, you have pre-made messages or any message, you just send it within a range of 60 seconds. You don't delay. Just tell yourself, I'm supposed to come for dinner. I won't make it. Just send a message within 60 seconds, respond. And it's the 60 second I'd prefer you use messages. You'll call later, but first of all, you send a message. Hey, I don't think when you send the message immediately within the range of 60 seconds, it will help you start overcoming this vice of keeping silence. I owe you 1,000 shillings. I can't make it. Hey, I want to be able to send a message. I won't able to send you your money. This and this has happened. Within the second 60 seconds, the moment I realize that I am about to delay, or I'm not in a position to do what I had promised, I give myself 60 seconds and I deliver. Then, solution number 4, this one is more of discipline. Now, assuming it's more of discipline, continuing, the more you discipline, yani it's how you perfect. We say practice makes perfect. So number 4 is more about perfection. At least once in a week, you schedule a day for cleanups. What do I mean? At least you can always see that when it reaches Saturday, I'll sit back and relax. Who who have I not communicated with? Who deserves my communication? Then the moment you realize, you send you send a voicemail, a text, or email. I'm talking about these voicemails or text. The reason why I'm saying you send them immediately is because if you start thinking about how I'll communicate, I'll tell him or her. You remember the reasons which we gave in the beginning? They'll start building up, and then you'll get a reason for not communicating, for not cleaning up. So you have a specific day. Let's say, for example, Saturday. Let me come up with Saturday. Every Saturday, I take time, I go somewhere, I only do some meditation. If I remember there's something which happened, there's somebody who needs my communication, I do it immediately through voice note, text, or email. Then after sending them, that's when you can call them now, because already the recipient, I've communicated